You can call me Marie. I am vlogging here from Denmark. You are visiting me here in my kitchen. I have chosen a different angle today. It's middle of the afternoon, so it's getting dark here. It's February month in Denmark, so still winter, still cold. It's been a pretty day today, but I can see that it's going to back to grey. So we have been missing sunlight here in Denmark for a while, but now the days are getting longer. It's about 1.5 months ago. It was the darkest day of the year. So it's clearing up, and it's a theme here in Denmark how much we see or don't see the sun at the moment. I actually think that I'm not sure that the rain bothers most Danes that much because it rains a lot in Denmark. But I think this lack of sunlight is getting to people. So it's good that it's clearing up. But as a knitter, we of course enjoy this time of year because there is nobody who's telling us to go outside, like we do with the children, go out and play. So right now I have my son at home. He's in the living room watching TV and watching cartoons. So you might be hearing the cartoons in the background, but let's see if that is going to be a problem. But welcome, and stay tuned for about 20-30 minutes of me talking about knitting and my life as a knitter and what's going on in my life and everything around that. So here's to you. So today I'm going to talk a bit about I don't remember if I've talked about this topic before, but I do knitting events here in Denmark, and I have a, what do you call it, collaboration with a local hotel here in Denmark. They are a social economic what do you call them, company. They are owned by 4 large companies here in Denmark who have funds who make sure that this hotel, which is in a historical building here in Denmark, which is why that all the buildings are protected by being of historical value. So running a hotel on those principles might be more difficult than running a conventional hotel. But they do a lot of social events. They do cultural events, like they do all kinds of events. They do music. They do I saw that they just had like a talk about economy. I think they have a lot of history talks about people knowing something about the local history, coming to the hotel and doing talks where they tell something about the local history. And I do these knitting events for them. So I've been working with them for just about 2 years now. So this is the 3rd time that we are doing this event. I have 2 events a year. I think I talked about the other event in some of the previous podcasts, but now I'm doing like what used to be the big event of the year, and it's calling you can call it knitting at the skyscraper, because the hotel is actually called Højhuset, which is the Danish word for skyscraper or high rise. And I do these knitting events where I invite people to come and talk with me on a stage about a specific topic. So this year I have chosen to invite two podcaster couples, which are very famous here in Denmark. They both couples do podcasts in Danish. They are called De Løse Ender, which is the loose ends in English, and Garn og Glimmer, which is yarn and glitter in English. And I invited them because when the yarn and glitter girls are two young girls. They're around 24, 25 years old, as far as I remember. And they started doing podcasts last year. And when they started doing these podcasts, they said that they were inspired by the loose end ladies. But the loose end ladies are, I think they just told on the recent episode that Merete is turning 60. I don't remember if Helle is a bit younger or a bit older, but they are around the same age, those two, as far as I remember. Just like the yarn and glitter girls are almost the same age, so that's kind of funny. So we have like these young girls who haven't had their own children yet. One of them is still a student, and we have these two ladies who, you know, are done with all of the small children thing, and they are now grandmothers or becoming grandmothers in a very short while. So the funny thing is that if you see these two couples, they have this amazing, like, intuitive way of being together, because they know each other very well. And they are, these four women individually are very, very different. Of course, we have like a very colorful young lady, we have a more conservative but still colorful young lady, we have a very a lady who's more very classic colors, very classic look, and we have a more feminine pink dusty rose type of lady. So these four individuals represent very different trends, you could say, in the knitting world. They represent two very different generations. I'm just in between in age of these four women, so I am too old to be the daughter of the oldest one, but I might be a tad too young to be the mom of one of the younger ones. So, you know, cutting it in between. So I'm very excited about meeting these four ladies. I have met Helle and Merete in real life. I've met Helle 3 times, I think, and Merete once, maybe twice. And Nana and Mathilde, I have never met in person. But I'm really looking forward to meeting these four women. And you might see a theme here, because I am a woman and these four are also women, and then I've invited 3 women more. And I think at our events we've had one male participant. So it's not that I don't want men to participate, but you know, knitting is it's a lot of females who knit. I know there are dads who knit. I know that there are men that are not dads who knit. Of course there are, and granddads who knit. But I need to, you know, invite people that have like a voice in this community. So I have the second talk we're going to do at Strik I Højhuset, knitting at the skyscraper, is a talk about yarn and yarn fibers and how yarn is made and all very nerdy thing. So I've invited Kirsten Brun, and she works with, she owns a yarn shop here in Denmark, and she also runs a website where she sells other people's brand yarn, mainly BC yarns and a company called Kremke. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. And she works a lot in buying up scrap yarn and buying up people's stash and then turning it into something new. So it's a very interesting project where she is kind of working with sustainability, but we're not going to talk about sustainability because I don't know a lot about sustainability and I'm not really interested in opening that topic. So, but the other one I have invited is Brigitte. Not sure how to pronounce that in English, but I know that you can be called Brigitte in French. And she owns a yarn company where she actually have made and I think still makes her own brand of yarn, and she also sells yarn from other brands on her website. She has had a physical shop and you know really had a good growing business, but some while ago, maybe half a year ago, maybe a year ago, she decided to downsize, I would call it. So she also knows a lot about yarn, working with and selling yarn, both in a physical shop and in a web shop. I know Kirsten very well, but actually the two other participants I don't know that well, so this is going to be interesting. I have often invited people that I knew in advance, but this year I'm doing, you know, people that I don't know personally, but I know from social media, like here on YouTube or on Instagram. Something weird is going on with the light. I'm not going to turn it on again. Okay, so the third participant in the panel is Sabina. Oh, she's called Sabina. She is a hand dyer. I have struggled to find a hand dyer that was interested in participating in my talk because a lot of the hand dyers have very busy schedules because a lot of them have web shops and then they do markets like fiber festivals, and I think Sabina also does that, but she has said yes to participate because I had one who told me that she really wanted to come, but this was the only weekend for months that she didn't have to go to a market somewhere in Denmark. So she was like, I talked to the family, this is one of our weekends off, and we agreed on that I needed a weekend where I didn't have to go to a market. And well, that's okay. You need to, have your priorities in straight. So Sabina is a hand dyer. She has this very beautiful, very girly, very pink, purple, pastel unicorn universe. So totally out of my color scale. I love that. And of course, there's a lot of hand dyers I never asked, but the principle is every time I ask 6 people, I get 5 no's and 1 yes. So I am over the moon each time that somebody replies to me and says yes. And actually, I had another hand dyer who had said yes immediately. She doesn't dye that much any longer because, as she told me recently, and also she's been very honest about her situation on Instagram. So she's been out sick with stress, and I'm talking about Christina Birkefiber, Christina Burke. I think it's called in English. And she has to take care of herself first, of course. So she had to write me and say, I have to step away. I have to prioritize getting better. And I understand that because I have been sick with stress 3 times. Life isn't always that straight and narrow. So I totally understand that sometimes you need to take a step back in life and focus on getting better. So I have these seven wonderful women who's going to come and visit me on stage, not at the same time, 4 and 3, on the 16th of March. And Højhuset lies in Herning, which is in the middle of Jutland here in Denmark, about 45 minutes in a car from me. I live out in the country, so doing actually it's almost the nearest train station from me. Where we live, it's half an hour, 45 minutes to the nearest bigger towns where they have like shopping streets and train stations and things like that. So you are definitely, if you live out here, you need to have a car. It's not a possibility to come around to transport yourself anywhere with public transportation if you have small children that you are supposed to pick up from daycare or are going to some kind of after school activity. Right now my second youngest is at soccer practice, so I'm sitting here making the best of the time until I have to pick her up. In about half an hour I need to pick her up, but I just had the time to talk to you about this knitting event that I am really looking forward to. And if you don't live in Denmark, or you don't live in a, what do you call it, you could say that you in Danish we would have you would call it a limit of pain. Don't say that in English, but I think we all have like, this is acceptable for me to travel this far to go to work. It's acceptable for me to go this far to go to something on, to buy clothes, or, we all have these, like, it's acceptable for me to drive this far to get to a knitting event in this case. So just like I would love to go to knitting events which are more than an hour and a half away, I don't do it, because if I need to spend an hour and a half on transport one way and then all the way back again, that's 3 hours out of my schedule, and I might be at the event for 2-3 hours. My events are about 6 hours long, so a whole day. And some of the participants actually come a long way. But we are all different, because if you don't have small children that you need to go home to, or you don't, if time is not an issue for you, then go ahead, go to something. And I think these knitting events, I love them. I love going to, I would have loved to go to Fiberfolk this year. We have Fiberfolk here in Denmark, about an hour and a half away from where I live, but we are going skiing that weekend, which is seriously bad planning, because I've been at Fiberfolk, I think that's the alarm. I think I've been at Fiberfolk 4 times, and I love coming there. I think it's a very nice event. It's not too big, it's not too small. There are a lot of interesting people. They are very good. I can't remember what she's called, but it's a husband and wife who arrange them, and they're very good at finding names that you know and finding new people. So I think that's really good. I love going to these events, and that's also why I plan them, because a lot of the events that we have here in Denmark are kind of like sales, like markets, and a lot of people would like to go to the events, but they might feel that they have to buy something, and they might just want to go to an event to meet other knitters, and there aren't that many social events for knitters, and there are some. Yes, there are, and a lot of yarn shops make excellent events, and I should definitely think that you should support that you should support your local yarn shop when they make events, knitting nights, invite somebody to come and make classes or anything. Please support your local yarn shop. If you don't support them, they will disappear. They can't buy their rent on your likes on Instagram. Sorry, people. And I try to remember that myself. This is a two-way street. I need to remember to buy my yarn at the shops that I want to support. So, but I'm trying to do events where there aren't a lot of sales. We don't do sales. There might be. We've had a Danish brand of, they make leather goods, come and have like a showcase of their mostly knitting bags. We have, when I've invited people to participate in my talks, I've said to them that if they wanted to, they could bring some of the things they sell in the shop, and of course like the little cards with their names and maybe their websites on, and then I put it out and people can take them. A lot of the other years I've actually have like a product that you could buy. I had that at the Christmas event this year, but it didn't generate a lot of sales. So I'm not having like a merch this year. We did cups the first year. We had knitting at the skyscraper, and you know, there are so many things on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. It's a hard competition to get into this market, and actually the same weekend that we are doing knitting at the skyscraper, I know that there are another event in the north of Jutland exactly the same date. So, but you know, I can't, you know, say that this is my weekend, you can't touch it. I'm not 5 years old. So, but I hope that you support the knitting events that you want to see more of, like knitting nights in your local yarn shop, like classes or courses at your local, in your local community, where people try to, you know, yeah, support people who does good things. Yeah, that might be, you know, the message that I am trying to make. But yeah, I think this is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this knitting video vlog thing. I hope you had a bit of warm coffee. Mine is definitely getting cold. I hope you did some knitting. I didn't get, oh, and I am knitting some, yeah. I hope you did some knitting. This is a hat, if anybody's asking. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you give this video a like. I hope you, if you don't already do so, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment. When you comment and like, and of course subscribe to my channel, other people can find me, so that if somebody else is interested in the type of content that I am creating, they can find me. And I hope that if there are any questions to anything that I've talked about today, just, you know, leave a comment. And I hope that you enjoyed this, because I enjoy making these videos, and I really hope that I will see you again next time.